2, fellas. Does manufacturer speaker sensitivity rating assume driving full range? So the answer to that is it depends. Most of the time, no. So the second part of that is, wouldn't I get different power efficiency on floor standing if setting crossover one way versus stated manufacturer sensitivity? So I can tell you that manufacturers typically rate sensitivity a few different ways. We're going to leave clips out of it, and I'll come back to them since we just mentioned them. Most manufacturers will rate sensitivity using 2.83 volts input at 1 meter distance, anechoic, which means it's not in a room, it's in a non-reverberant field. And the sensitivity will be taken over like a frequency range of, usually it's 300 hertz to 3 kilohertz. It can change. Some manufacturers will pick the highest point. So if it's like, let's say the speaker is flat from every frequency is flat, but there's a strong breakup mode at like 8 kilohertz. Some manufacturers may take that strong breakup mode and say, oh, we're plus 5 dB here. So instead of 85 dB, we're 90 dB, right? So that's kind of a lie. And then other manufacturers will just pick 1 kilohertz and they'll say, all right, at 1 kilohertz, this is the sensitivity. But generally speaking, what you need to know is what the frequency response on axis looks like. And then you just take an average SPL through a range of about 300 hertz to 3 kilohertz. So again, all of that is assuming that the speaker is in an anechoic chamber or some other method to simulate an anechoic chamber, right? There's no room involved at all. Klipsch, on the other hand, rates, and they state this in their manuals, 2 pi, which is already giving you 6 dB. Like it's like if you mount 2 pi would be against a wall or on the floor or something like that, but it doubles the output. So it gives you 6 dB off the bat. Well, I guess it triples, not doubles. Anyway, and then they'll do in room. So that gives you like another, whatever, 3 dB to 6 dB, depending on the room and the frequency and the radiation pattern of the speaker. So Klipsch generally, rule of thumb, I tell people to take about 6 to 9 dB off of whatever Klipsch states, just to get like a more apples to apples comparison, because they rate their sensitivity differently. Now, at least they tell you how they do it, but I'm not a fan of how they do it, because unless people go and read the fine print, you know, like for example, when Crutchfield lists a Klipsch speaker on their website, they'll say 94 dB sensitivity, but Crutchfield doesn't take that little asterisk and tell you what that asterisk means. That's not even on there. So people assume then that it is actually 94 dB when it's probably like 85 to 88 or something along those lines.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter with their new powered stuff, right? They have a lot of new powered speakers.
Yeah,
so
if it's powered, who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so some people care.
Well, still staying on this topic, what is the difference? Not in detail, but how does efficiency relate to sensitivity? Are they completely different? Are they somewhat related?
Yeah,
and which one's more important, like from a real world scenario?
That's not something I've ever really quite understood. My understanding is that efficiency is like the ability for the speaker to dissipate heat into it, right? So that's what I think efficiency is, but somebody would need to go Google that. But it is different from sensitivity. So some manufacturers will state efficiency, but they mean sensitivity. That's not the same thing. So that's all I can say.
All right. So is it possible for two speakers to have the same sensitivity, but one be louder in your room because it's more efficient?
No. Well, so I think in terms of frequency response, right?
Louder, so like as far as, sound pressure.
Like treble may be higher, but you rate the sensitivity based on a bandpass region, and that bandpass region is the exact same. 303 kilohertz is the exact same response for both of them, but then one of them, for whatever reason, maybe the tweeter is not damped enough, so it's boosted up. So then it would sound louder because the high frequencies are actually higher in SPL.
Okay. All right.
So in regards to what you're talking about, I don't know. You know, if it's relatable to dynamics, I would probably go with no. But
I guess the way I took it is that efficiency seems like how well does it work as a transducer? How good is it from changing electricity to sound output? I don't know if that's exactly the same, but it seems like
I don't know.
Changing electric to audio.
Well, let's Google this and see if we can find something that kind of tells us.
ChatGPT.
Kind of something that's a little bit easy. I'm not seeing anything here that's easy.
Have you asked ChatGPT what the best speaker is to buy for $500? Or like any arbitrary
do
like
that.
Should I ask it?
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it says.
It's not gonna know anything. It's bad at that sort of stuff.
Is it?
Anyway.
Yeah.
What other questions do we have here? We can continue on that. Aaron's looking some stuff up.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
it. That was the same one.
I meant to unhide it. Yeah, I was going to see if I could find something that just kind of tells you pretty quickly without getting into the weeds.
I'm gonna ask it. Go ahead and find another question. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Ask ChatGPT for the best spatial audio test disc.
It only knows up to 2021.
Okay.
What?
Between speaker sensitivity. What other questions we have, Chana?
Oh, there's not a whole lot actually.
Speaker.
Now there's lifewire.com is telling me that speaker efficiency, also known as speaker sensitivity, they're not the same. They're two completely different things. So that's why you got to be careful when you read this kind of stuff.
Sensitivity is often used interchangeably with the term speaker efficiency. Although related, this isn't entirely accurate, as efficiency tells you how much electrical energy is converted into sound, given as a percentage, while sensitivity means how much sound is made from a given point in decibels.
All right, so
I think efficiency is like, can it take that power that you're providing it and turn it into sound? Because if it can't, then it's lost due to heat or something like that. That's what I've always kind of thought it was, but I don't know. What you got? You got something?
Oh, yeah. It just says speaker sensitivity is a measurement of how loud a speaker can play when given a certain amount of power. It is measured in decibels, and the higher the sensitivity rating, the louder the speaker will play with the same amount of power. Speaker efficiency, on the other hand, is a measurement of how well a speaker converts electrical power into sound energy. That's what I said. It is essentially expressed as a percentage, and the higher the efficiency rating, the more of the electrical power that is converted into sound energy. Although both speaker sensitivity and efficiency are related to how loud a speaker can play, they are not the same thing. A speaker with high sensitivity but low efficiency will be loud but may require a lot of power to achieve that volume, whereas a speaker with low sensitivity but high efficiency will be quieter but will require less power to achieve the same volume. Who knows if that's correct? This is ChatGPT. You can't trust it. So
it
sounds about right. It sounds confident.
I mean, it sounds reasonable. No.
I like that. It says given as a percentage though, because that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's like input versus output. All right, if you would like to join us every week on Mondays at, what time is it? About 6 p.m. Central, which is the best time. That's where I am. Make sure you join us at youtube.com/Daily HiFi. We out.